Hello, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube Live. Good afternoon. I'm Liam. This is Working Lunch with Liam, wherever the thingy is here. Welcome and thanks for watching. We go out live on all these platforms a couple of times a week with some information on business or some stories about working live. We originally started it because we had nothing else to do during lockdown and we're all sat at home on our computers. So I thought, right, well, let's get some industry leaders on these bits of clips and they can talk to you a little bit more about what they get up to, maybe a bit inspiring, and just some stories in general. So we're going to continue it. We're going to continue it until we get told to stop. So thanks very much for watching. You may be watching back on catch up on some groups, on business pages, whatever it may be. So thanks very much for spending a little bit of time watching this. It's really good. And if you've got any comments, then please put them below in the chat. So thanks. Today, we have a wonderful guest. We've had some wonderful guests all the way through lockdown, but we have a wonderful, wonderful guest today who's going to talk to us about what their organisation gets up to in our local community, because it is a community organisation. We're going to learn more, but it's more for the Northwest, or they may go further afield now, of course, as well. So let's bring them on now. Good afternoon, Jaydee Davis. Hello.
Good afternoon, Liam. You okay?
Yes, I was just concerned whether it was morning or not then, but it is afternoon.
It is afternoon, you're right. 12:30 to be precise.
First question, where are you and what can you see?
I'm in the office, actually. So there is 11 of us, and I am one of two that have stayed at home predominantly during the lockdown. I'm coming on Mondays now and possibly another day in the week. So yeah, I'm in the office. It's good to be here and see everyone.
Yeah, I mean, because you say you spent quite a lot of time at home. You've just about survived lockdown, or did you embrace it?
I learned a lot. I've embraced it, I think. You know, it's for me, it's a chance and a time, well, not a chance, but it's a time we will never get back. So it's very difficult for a lot of people. You have your good days, you have your bad days. But I think the world that we live in these days with technology and everything else, you've got to try and embrace what you can. You can't change it, so you've got to just embrace it.
Yeah. Has it changed the way that maybe you'll work in the future in terms of whether you had loads of flexibility already, but in terms of working a bit more from home or different locations, or you're always going to be that person that likes to be in the office and the hustle and bustle of things?
I think the business team, definitely. The community side is very much face-to-face and has to be really for the work that we do and the reach out there, but the outreach. But in regards to the business side, I think that a lot of people are going to start doing Zoom a lot more now. They're not going to want to waste time in the cars, travelling hours up and down for coffee. It'll be much easier to be more efficient, I think, and it's allowed us, we've used lots of different technology during lockdown, so it's enabled us to really look through processes. So I think we'll have a hybrid. Personally, I can't wait to get back to some face-to-face networking. I love it. That's what I'm all about. But I think other meetings, I'll do a hybrid and make sure they're also on Zoom, and the team can have that flexibility as well.
Very good. So community and business partners, let's get straight into it.
Get straight into it.
What's it about? Why does it exist? Etc. Go.
Okay, it's a big one, right? Community and business partners. We've been established over 30 years, and our whole aim is to bring businesses and communities together through various different partnerships. We're a not-for-profit social enterprise, so community interest company. So everything we do goes back into the business and is reinvested for the greater good. So we have two parts to us. The community side is all about accessing those people that are vulnerable, that are isolated. We've got lots and lots of different things going on. So during lockdown, we've been making, for example, craft packs. So those items are donated from local businesses that would have otherwise gone to landfill. Brilliant CSR box for them. And we've been making loads of craft packs and distributing those that are isolated. We do a lot of food distribution, so food that is otherwise going to get thrown. We make loads and loads of packs up and we get those out to people. And then we have another couple of projects that work with people that are in the local area, just to make sure that they've got companionship, they've got activities. And then finally, Sam's, which is a big scrap art material store. It's an Aladdin's cave of goodies, all surplus material that we work with schools, nurseries, creative individuals, and it's just... You've got to see it to believe it. It's mad what goes on in there.
Yeah, I've actually had a look on the website, and it seems to be just tremendous amounts of stuff. So where does that stuff come from? Sorry, where does all
So
that?
local businesses, yeah. So for example, we work with a number of local businesses. They might be manufacturing businesses that have got surplus material they aren't sure what to do with. To them, it's waste. To us, it's what we can use for creative goods in some communities. So like I said, we have memberships with schools and nurseries, but it might just be someone who's really creative that loves going in, finding something and making things from it. I'm the least creative person in the world, but I go down and the things that they make from it is absolutely brilliant. But we've got brilliant things. We've got repaint schemes and projects that we have with Farron Ball or other companies that we can get donated charitable items through, which is brilliant.
So, and of course, as you say, you've got two parts. But you've got the business arm to the organisation as well.
Yeah, so I head up generally the business side. So that is all about supporting our businesses across the county. So predominantly, we specialise in business mentoring. So we have a team of over 200 business mentors that have been there and done it. And if we talk about COVID, that's really, really important. They've lived through recessions, they've lived through foot and mouth, they've lived through, mad cow disease, really crippling crises that have caused massive problems within businesses, and they've lived through that. And those mentors are there to help other businesses. Historically, but pre-COVID, it was all about growth. At the moment, it's about survival and sustainability. So those mentors work with businesses and they get lots and lots of help. And the brilliant thing is it's all funded through Boost Business Lancashire. There's no cost at all for these businesses to access our mentors.
So, how does Boost then relate to the? Have you got are they separate companies? Are they boosted within community and business partners?
Yeah, so Boost effectively, this is how it gets a little bit confusing with community and business partners. What we effectively do is work on different projects. So Boost is a project within community and business partners. But Boost on its own is a £6.2 million European funded programme with Lancashire County Council in there as well. And they are Lancashire's growth hub. So effectively what they have is partners like us that deliver parts of that contract. So we have the mentoring contract with us, there is startup support, there is access to finance, there is scale-up support, there's absolutely everything you can possibly imagine. And Boost is our Lancashire growth hub. If a business for support or to set up, you go to Boost and then you would get introduced to the relevant people that can move you on that journey from there. But we're all the Boost family. It's just different things.
So I mean, let's get into the mentoring because it is used a lot, isn't it? I mean, I know how busy you guys are there. It's used a tremendous amount in Lancashire.
Yeah, it is, and it's. I mean, we've helped, Boost as a whole has helped thousands and thousands of businesses. It's helped create thousands of jobs. It's helped to put on thousands of pounds worth on our local economy and create new products and services. It's huge. Mentoring is, in America, everybody has a coach. The biggest entrepreneurs have coaches, and mentoring, sometimes it's that terminology. Do I need a mentor? Am I failing if I need a mentor? What makes me go out and reach out for a mentor? For me, if you can talk to someone who's been there and done it and can guide you, get you to that end goal a little bit quicker, or stop you about to take that risk because they've done it before, it's absolutely invaluable. It's just invaluable.
And where do you get the mentors from then? Do they approach you? Do you approach them? How does that work?
So over 30 years, we've created a huge bank of mentors. I will say about our mentors, which is really important, our mentors have been there and done it. They have either created their own businesses from scratch and got them to a good level, or they have worked their way up to director and board level. That is really, really important to us. We don't go out and recruit mentors because we have such a great amount anyway. The only mentors that we generally work with are those that have been recommended to us via other mentors or other people, and we will always have that conversation. And if they fit what we're looking for, then we do that. The most important thing to say about our mentors as well is they work for us on a voluntary basis. So they are genuinely wanting to give a bit of something back. And that's an incredible thing to be able to have somebody that is just there to support you and help you on your business journey.
And I suppose that brings us on to an important question. Stuart's already asked a question about mentoring, but what kind of sectors is it? Is it any sector at all in industry that you can look to help?
So with Boost, there is various bits of criteria because Boost is European funded. It comes with some eligibility criteria. For insurance, unfortunately, is one of them that is not eligible for financial support. In just the insurance elements, and then there's really random things like mining and quarrying.
Yeah.
But what Boost has done during this period is opened up to businesses necessarily. So in the past, it would be no B2C. So if you sell direct rather than another business, that was harder. That's opened up at the moment. We can support those people. If the growth plans aren't quite what they were pre-COVID, let's have a conversation. Let's see if we can still help you. So insurance is probably one of the only tricky ones, if I'm honest. Everything else now, we've boosted really and opened the doors up to make sure we can help anyone.
So you talk about a pre-COVID world and a post-COVID world. What's you've got your ear to the ground probably better than most. What's the outlook, or what do you see the outlook of the local economy? You must be positive about the way that Lancashire businesses are going, surviving, and hopefully growing in the future.
Yeah, I think, without a shadow of a doubt, we've unfortunately lost businesses, and some businesses haven't made it through this. And that's obviously very sad for those businesses and everybody involved. But I think that we have, in Lancashire, we have a great spirit anyway. With people that always want to help, that will always pick up the phone. And that happened pre-COVID or, post. But there is definitely a little bit more positivity. People are going back to the offices more. People are starting to get out and about a little bit more. They're building relationships still, whether it be on Zoom or not. And people are recruiting. Not everybody, of course, but we're actually recruiting at the moment, which businesses are starting to recruit. And I think that you've got to reach out and see what support there is. If you're struggling, you must pick up the phone to me, to Boost, and just see and make sure we can help in some capacity. Brilliant.
What do you enjoy most about it? What's really, you're thinking, it lands on your desk and you think, what, this is absolutely, I love doing this element of my role.
Oh, well, mine's changed massively over the last 4 months. Like 5-6 months, how long have it been? I have no idea. From a Boost and a mentoring point, I absolutely love helping businesses. I've seen my own family business lose everything, and I've worked with employers that have lost everything, that have gone into administration. So being able to help somebody with no ulterior motive, it's funded, there's great people there that can help, is massive for me. I absolutely love that, because if I can help one business mitigate a huge risk, we can help another business grow and take on staff, then that's huge for a personal thing for me, and something that the whole Boost team, to be fair, do anyway. But in regards to the last 6 months, it's been absolutely manic. I mean, learning everything else, dealing with the challenges, all your new processes, your technology, recruiting staff. We've got a new project that I haven't mentioned. It's just been a whirlwind, but that's what keeps me going. I don't like being quiet, Liam.
No, you like to be kept occupied, don't you?
I do, yeah.
What are the common problems that you find that businesses are coming to you for at this moment in time?
A lot has been around finances,
right.
Being able to access funds in some capacity. I mean, obviously you have the challenge is when the government has announced, as they were doing at the beginning, we all hear at the same time. So it's like, let's try and understand this as quickly as possible and get it out to the. So the government has been fantastic in numerous things that they're doing, but there are grey areas and not everybody fits into that. So there's a team part of Boost called Access to Finance. They're brilliant at helping people see what else they can get and what's available. But I think finance has been a huge thing. And also that drive to keep going. When you're in that situation, you can do two things, can't you? You can put your head in the sand and say, oh my God, what am I going to do? Or you can be innovative and you can be creative, and you can think about something else and try and move that forward if you've got the resources to do that.
Brilliant. We have a question in from Melissa Cooper. How long do businesses have access to the mentoring?
So through Boost, they get access to 12 hours of support. So that is generally done over a 4-month period. The great thing about that is it's structured. So say, for example, you've got a couple of hours every 3 weeks, for argument's sake. What that brings is accountability and structure. So when your mentor's coming back next week for the next meeting, and last time they left you loads of actions to do, you're like, oh, I better get those done. So we're busy. We're very busy people, aren't we? Everybody's very, very busy. And sometimes the mentoring is just about moving things forward, making sure that thing that you've always wanted to do is happening now, having someone to talk to about any concerns that you've got with it, but knowing that every time you've got that meeting, you've got to get your things done. So, so it's 12 hours over a 4-month period generally, but there's lots of support.
I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. Accountability is key. I know from my own experience, having that weekly or twice a month meeting, and you've got that action point to start off. Even if you kind of rush it in the second half of that week, at least you get it done, because it's about getting it done rather than anything else. So
yeah. And the thing is with the mentors and clients, sometimes people know exactly what they want. I want a marketing strategy. I've got this pen and I need to get it to Europe and I don't know how. Very, very structured. This is what I need. A lot of the time, directors, they're not quite sure. They just think they might need something, and it's just about, actually, I need that accountability. I want someone to talk to. It's lonely in business whether you've got 300 staff or you've got 3. The things that keep directors awake at night are normally the same things. So just having that extra person to help keep moving you forward is really beneficial.
Brilliant. And startups as well, because there's a lot of people that have, unfortunately, they've either been made redundant or they can't work at the minute for whatever reason. And they thought, you know what, I'm going to start my own business because I'm really passionate about whatever it may be. Can you provide help for these if they've got a great idea?
Yeah, so the stats in Lancashire at the minute are unbelievable. There's hundreds of businesses setting up every hundreds of them, and this is where entrepreneurship flourishes, doesn't it? So as part of the Boost team, there is a specific startup program, and that's for businesses that are either in the first couple of years of trading or a person with a business idea that wants to get that going. Their support is made up of various workshops, but that's going right back to basics: cash flow planning, business flow planning. What's my customer? Who is my customer? What do they look like? How am I going to market to them? So they do a really, really great series of workshops. And the good thing is you do that with other people, so you're already starting to network straight away with people at the same at that same stage as you, which is good.
Brilliant.
Support right up to multi-million-pound businesses.
Have you seen or can you put your thumb on a business, and you might not be able to say the specific, where you've really, really, although you always had benefit, but you've really helped that business take it from this level right here?
I think that. No, I think one example to give, not necessarily kind of moving from here to but Kudos Exhibitions, which is obviously in our family, they were a great example. I started working with Kudos from a mentoring point, not me personally, obviously, before COVID hit. And they wanted some support from a retail expert. They were looking to do more work within retail outlets, point of sale equipment, because obviously, as you know, they do exhibition stands on a global level, and they wanted to have something that they could also market out locally. So we had a retail expert in, absolutely fantastic. This guy is an unbelievable level as a mentor, and he was doing some work with them. As COVID hit and the exhibition stands and market just went overnight, as we know, Kudos totally changed their market and went into these virus screens, the company protective sneeze screens. And what we can quickly do with that is, because of the amount of mentors that we have, is change their mentor very quickly. We identified the first mentor was amazing, but now they were looking at something very different. So we put in a marketing expert with them that helped them with other businesses as well, drive that forward. And that has been, I mean, an unbelievable journey.
They've done brilliant work, haven't they? Brilliant work.
Yeah, the contracts they've got now is incredible. So we can adapt as well, which is important.
You've recently announced that there may be some grant availability as well. I don't think that's a secret that's out there, that there may be in the future some grants available. Can you talk about that? Can you mention what that may be for? And
yeah, so I can, but there was a new technical grant that came out a few weeks ago. The expression of interest that we've had have already been over 1,000. They've had to close that off.
Oh wow!
This week, it's been unbelievable as the response to that, as you would expect. Some people may have missed that. Some people may have got their expression of interest in, but obviously there's only so much money that Lancashire has in their pot to give out. So again, if you are looking for anything like that, do contact me, because I can put you in touch with the right team anywhere. There's lots of things always coming out and about, and it might not be physical money to use towards a new piece of kit. It might be some money to help recruit a member of staff or an apprentice, or some funding for training, and that's as important. So it's not always physical money that we need as well. It's other monies to help drive things, like I said, training or recruitment or staffing or technology, whatever it might be.
Oh, just get on your website and all the information will be there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Media. What about training outside of mentoring? Is there a training arm to the business where people can?
Yes. So we've just won a new contract that we started a couple of months ago. This is called DEEPER. It stands for, who's testing me now? Why did I say this? Education, engineering, and it basically educating real value. Basically, there's a huge gap in Lancashire for digital skills gap. It's in Lancashire that we've got a huge digital skills gap. So we've joined forces with a company called Enterprise for All and a digital agency called Magma Digital, and it's called Fast Track Fund. And basically what we're doing is we're putting candidates on a 12-week course, digital training from an actual digital agency, which is really, really important. They're going through numerous modules, and then we pick up and help on the employability side. So then we'll help them train in regards to interview, CV writing, and then find businesses for them to ultimately hopefully get a job for. But it might be that businesses can help us. And if there's any digital agencies on here, definitely, give me a call. It might be they can help with mock interviews. It might be they can help with CV writing. It might be they can offer them 2 weeks work experience. This is all around PHP programming. So it's a brilliant program. And hopefully they'll come out of that 12 weeks with, obviously junior level experience, but digital agency with employability in there to get them ready to go into the work life.
Awesome. What's the vision for the future then? Is the vision for the future where you're actually not needed because all businesses are really successful, or is there always going to be a need for that support? And what's the future look like for the organisation?
I think there's always. I mean, you always need somebody. There's absolutely nothing wrong with putting your hand up and saying, I need a little bit of help and guidance. As an owner of a business, you have to be finance director, marketing director, HR director, all these things. You can't be all those things. There's nothing wrong with pulling somebody in who's an expert in another area and helping drive that forward. So, we absolutely love our mentor team, and we're nothing without our mentors from that side. So there's lots and lots of different things we can do moving forward. But hopefully there will still continue to be funding, whether that obviously stops from Europe and it comes from local government, but there'll always be funding to drive things forward and to help our new businesses and our established businesses. And it's just making sure that, we're part of that and we can keep driving that support forward.
And I've got a question here from Danny saying, do you have a younger brother? Which is possibly.
Well, no, I don't have a younger brother. I have an older brother, Liam. And when people, when we used to network face to face, remember those days?
Yes.
Me and Danny would be in an event and someone would go, so which one's older? You can imagine my face and Danny's face. His was a lot more happy than mine.
And how does networking fit into all this? You just mentioned it. How does it fit into the way that you attract businesses and clients to your company?
For me, it's absolute key. On the Boost side, because we're part of Boost, obviously there's a lot of marketing. Boost is a well-known brand. There's loads and loads of great things. But for me, it's about getting out there. I had a member in one of my networking group, actually. I've been in this group with him for 6 years, and he had some support from us 2 years ago. He won a huge contract through our mentor. Now, a disclaimer here, mentors aren't there to give you huge contracts, but he won a huge contract through him. And he said to me, Jaydee, I've seen you every week for 3 years, and I didn't feel like I could come and ask because I felt like I should have been ashamed, for doing that. And absolutely not. But that's the most important thing about face-to-face networking. You build a rapport, you get to know people, you hear things that relate to you, and hopefully something then inside you says, I need that. Can you help me? Can you point me in the right direction? So I miss face-to-face, Liam. I do miss face-to-face networking.
Yeah. It's coming back. I'm sure. It
is coming back, definitely. But one tip I will say to people, that if there's a lot of people that obviously quite nervous networking, and I think the Zoom and online is absolutely brilliant because, as a kid, you're taught, aren't you, not to speak to strangers, and then you go into a big room and you have to go and speak to strangers, and you're always fearful of the one stood in the corner with a coffee and no one's talking to you. You can't do that online. So I would suggest do as much online networking as you can, because when we get back to face-to-face, when you walk in that room, you will feel like you know half the people. Yeah. So comfortable. So do it while you can, and you can hide away a little bit of the screen if it's something that you're quite nervous about.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So, I mean, 25 minutes goes past very, very quickly. Where can people go to find out more about your organisation?
So www.cbpartners.org is our website. You can find me on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and then obviously with the Boost website has its own website, which is boostbusinesslancashire.co.uk.
Awesome. And what you're having for your lunch?
I've already had it, Liam.
Yeah, early doors that.
I've had a corn chili with a gluten-free wrap.
Flexitarian at its best.
You know my flexitarian habits. You're the only one who gets it.
Enjoy your beef lasagna tonight, I'm sure.
What are you having, Liam?
I'm having a roasted butternut squash curry for my dinner.
Ooh, very nice.
Yes, with some peas in it. So I'm going to have. I made it yesterday. I'm going to have the second half this lunchtime. I'm going to go for it now. So thank you very much. I know, wonderful. So everyone knows what we're having for lunch now. So thank you very much for being here. 25 minutes goes past hugely fast. And I really appreciate your time. We'll share it around loads of groups. If you want to get in touch with Jaydee and learn more, you've got a business that's needing to survive or grow or whatever, get in touch. I know we can help. So thank you so much, Jaydee. Have a great day. Have a great week.
Thank you. Thank you very much. See you later, Liam.
Bye. Bye, Rob.